So this is a basic demonstration of the Rasa chatbot with the Slack integration. So we have developed this chatbot using the Rasa framework and Python. So Python is basically used for verifying the backend operations such as restaurant search, um, and then verifying the email ID, whether it's valid or not, the email ID that has been entered is valid or not, or the location that has been entered is valid or not, or whether the location is serviceable or not. So all this backend code is being done in Python, and the rest of the dialog management and everything is done using the Rasa. This is a basic demonstration of how the Rasa chatbot integration works with Slack. So let's ping the Foodie. As you can see, this is the Foodie restaurant. So this is the chatbot that's been integrated in the Slack. So let's ping it and make it active. So let's say hello. So it says, hey there, this is Foodie, your personal restaurant search assistant. How may I help you? So let's say that I am hungry. Please find me some restaurants. So that's what we have said to it. It asks us what location you prefer. So let's say Bengaluru. So once you enter the location, the backend codes get activated and it verifies whether this particular location is valid or not, and if it's valid, it's serviceable or not. And if it's serviceable, then it asks for what cuisine you would like to have, whether it is Chinese, Mexican, Italian, or Indian. So let's say nothing of these, and I'll prefer Thai. So it says what is the average budget of two people. So we have given some interactive buttons also. So if you select rupees 300 to 700, so the average budget of the two people will be between 300 and 700. So once you select that, it will go behind and search for the restaurants, and it will display you the top 5 restaurants which are being sorted in the descending order based on the user ratings. After that, it will ask you whether you need to receive an email for all these restaurant details or not. So if you say yes, it will ask for your mail ID. So let's enter the mail ID at the rate gmail.com. So once you enter the email ID, it will verify whether the email ID entered is valid or not. And if the email ID is valid, it will send you and mail. So it says email sent. Please check your mailbox. Have a great time. Super. Anything else you want? So let's say nothing. That's it for today. So it will say, hope you're satisfied with my service. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye. So it has bid us goodbye, and the story or the conversation has ended. So let's check in our mailbox if we have received the email or not. So yes, we have received the email, as you can see over here. It has given us uh, the top 10 Thai restaurants in Bangalore with the address of with the restaurant name, its address, its rating, and the average budget for the two people. So yes, so that's how the email is sent over here. So that's one of the demonstration of one of the storyline and how the chatbot is been integrated in the Slack. Now let's check on a second storyline where we'll purposefully misspell some of the commonly misspelled spelling like the cuisine names and the location names and see if the chatbot is able to verify those properly or not. So let's ping the chatbot again and make it active. So let's say hola. So it says, hey there, this is Foodie, your personal research assistant. How may I help you? So let's say I'm looking for some Chinese restaurant in Pune. Uh, okay. So I purposefully misspelled the cuisine names Chinese and a most commonly used name for Pune, that is Pune. So let's see if the chatbot is able to verify this or not. If it's able to verify, it will ask for the budget. Otherwise, it will ask for the location or the cuisine. So it has verified both the cuisines and the restaurant on the location. And is asking for the budget. So let's say the budget of rupees 300 to 700. So once you give the budget, it will show you the top five Chinese restaurants in Pune, sorted by the descending order of the user rating. And then it will ask you again if you need to send out the email of this restaurant details. So if you say yes, it will ask for your email ID. Let's again enter the same email ID. So it will go again, verify whether the email ID is valid or not, and if it is valid, it should send out the uh, mail to the. So it has sent that mail, and they say that's great. How can I help you more? So let's say that's it for today. Thank you so much. So it says happy fooding. Take care until next time. Bye bye. So it has wished us bye bye. So let's check in our mailbox if you have received the email or not. So yes, we have received the Chinese restaurants. As you can see, it has automatically corrected the names which we have misspelled. We have misspelled the word to Chines. We have forgot the E, but it has correct. The bot has correctly verified the Chinese cuisine and also the most commonly used name, that is Pune, to Pune. And by mapping those constraints, it has automatically given us the top five or the top 10 uh, restaurant details, top 10 restaurant details in Pune. So that's the second storyline for the Slack foodie, which we have verified of the Rasa chatbot in the Slack. Now let's verify a third storyline where we will purposefully misspell the email ID so that the bot should verify that the email is not valid, and it should re-ask the user that to enter the valid email ID. So let's check whether that logic is working or not. So let's ping it again, bot again, and make it active. So say hey. So it says, hola amigo, hungry, what's on your mind today? So let's say I'm looking for a boys' night out. So that's great. Any preferred location? Let's misspell the name of Mumbai to Mumbai and check if the bot is able to verify that name or not. So since it's misspelled, it won't be able to find it, and it will ask you to check uh, to re-enter the name. So let's re-enter the name again, and this time correctly. So let's enter it Mumbai. Uh, so yeah, it has verified the location and it's asking for the cuisine. So let's specify American. So it's asking for the budget. Let's say more than 700. So the bot has picked up top five American restaurants in Mumbai, and it's asking whether you need to send out the restaurant details. So let's say yes, and let's misspell or input a incorrect email ID. So let's say let's slash triple ITA @gmail.com. So under backslash is not a valid character for the email ID. So this shouldn't be recognized as an email ID. So it says seems something wrong. Please enter a valid email ID. So let's uh, correct the email ID now. And since it is a correct email ID, it should verify the email ID and it should send an email to us. So it's verifying the email ID. So it's verified the email ID and it has said the email sent, do you need more help? So let's say no, thank you. Says, hope you're satisfied with my service. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye. So it has bid us goodbye, and the foodie is now offline. So let's check whether we have received the email in our mailbox or not. As you can see, we have the list of top 10 American restaurants in Mumbai. So we had misspelled Mumbai, which it was not able to verify. So we had to uh, re-enter it again. And again, and we were trying to enter the email ID. The email ID was entered wrongly, so the bot was able to verify that the email ID was wrong, and it prompted us to feed an email ID again. So when we fed the right email ID, it has sent us an email of the top 10 American restaurants in Mumbai. So that's the third storyline that we have verified using Slack, where we have misspelled the location name, which is not a valid location actually, and also the email ID. We have entered an invalid email ID, and the bot had asked, verified it was invalid, and had asked us to enter a verifiable or a correct email ID. So that's the third storyline that we have verified for this chatbot. Now let's verify one more storyline, uh, whereby we will enter a location which exists, which is actually a real location, but that's not serviceable by um, uh, what we can say, Zomato. So it should say that the location is not serviceable by Zomato, and it should ask for some other location and so on. So let's ping the bot again so that it wakes up. So we have said hi. So it says, Hola amigo, hungry, what's on your mind today? So let's say I am looking for some good restaurants. So it should ask for any particular location in mind. So let's uh, uh, let's enter a location that's actually valid, but it's not serviceable. So we have a list of uh, uh, location. So that's in Durg. So these are the list of locations that we have taken from Wikipedia. So it says that even though the Durg is a valid city name, but that's not serviceable, or that's where Zomato doesn't operate. So it says try some other city name. So let's try some other city name uh, which the Zomato can service to. So let's use a common name, Delhi, which is uh, most common name used name for Delhi. And let's see whether the chatbot is able to verify this or not. So yes, the chatbot has verified the commonly used synonym for Delhi, and is asking for what you would like to eat. So let's say we like to eat some dosa, which is type of a South Indian food. Uh, and see if the foodie is able to verify that or not. Uh, so yes, it has verified the cuisine. Also, is asking for the budget. So let's say less than 300 because we already verified all the other two buttons. So let's see if that less than 300 button is working or not. So yes, so it has given us the top five picks for the cuisine, that is dosa, that you want to eat, and it's again asking whether you want to send the details to the email ID or not. So let's, instead of typing yes, let's say yes, please send me the list. Send me, yes, please send me the list too. Or the dot triple ida at the rate gmail.com. So it will go and verify whether that particular mail ID is valid or not, and if it's valid, it will send out the uh, uh, mail. And it says, "That's great. How can I help you more?" So let's say nothing for now. It says happy foodie, take care until next time. Bye bye. So let's check if we have received that email or not. So yes, see, we have. So the dosa is commonly used South Indian of meal. So that's been mapped to South Indian dishes. And it has also mapped the most commonly used synonym name, that is Delhi, to Delhi, and it has given us the top 10 restaurants in Delhi. So that's the fourth storyline that we have verified, where we have used commonly used synonyms for the cuisine and the location, and the bot was able to verify it and able to send us the email. Now let's verify a storyline where instead of using the buttons, we will specify the mm, price range within the text and see how that goes on. Okay, so let's ping the bot again to wake it up. So let's say him find me some good restaurants in Delhi. What would you like to eat? I would prefer butter chicken. So it says, let's say between 100 and 500. So now instead of using the buttons, we have just specified the price range, as you can see over here, between 100 and 500. That's some random price range. And also, instead of specifying any particular cuisine, we have specified butter chicken, which it's the type of North Indian food. So the bot has mapped the butter chicken to the North Indian food, and it has displayed us the top five restaurants in Delhi, which are sorted based on the user rating for the North Indian food. And it asks for whether it needs to send an email. So let's again, instead of using the buttons, let's say yes, please send it to triple gmail.com. So it goes, it will verify the email ID, and if the email ID is valid, it should send us the uh, list of top 10 North Indian restaurants in Delhi. So let's check our email whether we have received that email or not. So yes, see. So the butter chicken has been mapped properly to North Indian food, and the bot is able to send us the list of the restaurants of the top 10 North Indian restaurants in Delhi, and so on. It's again asking superb. Anything else I can do for you? So let's say no thanks and wish it bye bye. So it should go offline. So it says happy fooding, take care until next time. It also wishes bye bye, and the bot is offline. So in this storyline, we have verified that without using the buttons and specifying some dynamic price range, also we can easily query the foodie chatbot, and the foodie chatbot will be able to take all the dynamic values and still would be able to find out the restaurant names for us. Also, one more thing we saw is that instead of using a particular cuisine name, we are using the dishes name, and the dishes name are properly mapped to the particular uh, uh, cuisines. That is, here we have used butter chicken, and the butter chicken has been properly matched to the North Indian cuisine, and then it has displayed us the top 10 North Indian restaurants in Delhi, as we can see over here. So that's one more storyline that we have verified using this Foodie chatbot. So that's pretty much all the scenarios, crucial scenarios we have tried to cover in this video for now. Thank you.